Hi, Emeri and Jess. Thanks for taking the time to chat with us. Emeri, first question for you. Have you been able to come down from the emotions of that dramatic stoppage time winner?
Not really. I was like just telling my friend in the locker room, I was like, I think I'm gonna throw up. Like I'm so excited. I have so much adrenaline right now. And then when everyone was running up to me after the game, I thought that I was just gonna wake up and be in my bed. Like I actually thought I was dreaming.
Have you been able to just kind of replay as sudden as it was, like, you know, what you saw with that ball coming in and you getting up for it?
Not really. I just jumped up and had the ball, and then I was like, oh, she saved it. And then it went in, so I was like really excited.
And then just for you, after this game, 9 games left to go in the season, the way this team fought to get this win in such a dramatic fashion, is this the way to springboard it, the momentum to carry on and, you know, kind of go on a run to finish out the season and cause some havoc in the standings?
I hope so. No, yeah, look, we knew that this game was going to be really difficult. North Carolina are a very good team. But we also knew that if we want to get to where we want to get to by the end of those 9 games, that we needed to put in a performance today and we needed to get a win. That's the reality. And that's what we did, and I'm really, really proud of this group. Honestly, we've worked really hard in this time period that we'd had off. There's been some moves, and you know that's always hard in a locker room mid-season. Really, really, really tough for us. But you know this group is so together, and that's one of the best feelings. And I think you kind of saw that today, that we're really, really in this together. We have a lot of respect for every single person and player in our locker room, and I think our performance showed that tonight. So I'm really happy that we got the reward for that, because there's been plenty of times this season where I felt we've deserved a lot more than what we've got out of games. So today was just kind of a really good ending to the last 7 weeks, I would say.
Thank you.
For you, Emeri, posted a photo earlier today. I assume it's from about 10, 15 years ago of you and Megan. Laura had previously talked about you and comparing your game to Megan's, and then you scored the game winner right after her jersey is retired. Can you just, what does this moment mean to you, whether just it's the goal or being in the game, being with this team? What does it, mean to you as such a young player?
Yeah, I mean, that picture was taken a long time ago. My brother's team got to play them, and I was like one of the only people that got to watch. That was such a special moment for me, and getting to see her play, and then just really stepping into the stadium with all the fans today. It was a whole new atmosphere. It was insane. It was so surreal. It was really a cool moment.
And then, Jess, obviously you played a very long time with Megan. Could you just talk a little bit about what it means to you to see her, honored like this? And obviously you have the shirt on too.
Yeah, look, there's not enough words, I don't think, to really describe Megan, and what she's done for this team alone. You can talk about what she's done for USA, you can talk about what she's done off the field, but even if we were to just talk about what she's done for this team and this organization, it is something very, very, very special. And it was. I wish that we were able to. I wish we were able to watch the whole thing, to be honest with you. But we were in the locker room for it. But we were watching it on the TV, and even we, sneaked out a little bit. And I was standing with Blue, just watching little moments of it, and just she deserves everything. And I think that I was glad that we got the win, so she could kind of take that home with her today as well. And yeah, look, my relationship with P and what she's done for me personally, but also playing alongside her, I can't really put it into words. I just love her to bits, and her career is something that every person would dream of, right? It doesn't happen to many people, but the fact that she is such a good human being on top of being one of the best athletes that has ever graced this game, just says just exactly who Pino is.
And then last one for me, the win is obviously significant for one more reason. Finally win 100 for Laura. You've obviously been there for a lot of them. Emeri, you've been there for fewer of them, but you've been here now for a little bit. Just, could you talk about, first of all, was Laura relieved? And just sort of what the vibe was around the win and, maybe finally reaching that milestone, even though I know that wasn't really in your guys' head before the game by any means.
Yeah, look, I actually think it's really telling that Emeri was the one that scored the winning goal for our 100th game, and I say that because when we were in pre-season, Laura came up to me and said, "You gotta see this kid," right? And I was like, "What are you on about? Oh, pre-season's just started." Like, she's like, "You gotta see this kid," and I was all right, and she was so excited, and I think with all clubs and with all journeys, when you get to 100 games, and Laura's been here through many transitions within the club, and we're kind of going through that. We've just been bought, and we've got so much to look forward to. That it's really fitting that her 100th game comes from a youth player that she has so much belief in, a youth player that she just sees the future of Emeri, in her head, probably hasn't mapped out, because that's the coach that she is, right? She deserves everything, Laura. I've said that. Everyone who works with her, she cares about you as a human. She pushes you as an athlete, and she understands the game better than anyone I've ever worked with. But I don't know. I don't believe in coincidences, so I do believe that it is fate almost that Emeri scores for 100th game today. It's the start of probably a new chapter for us, and we've got young kids in now. Even JB, shout out, absolutely stellar tonight. We've got Ainsley. These are going to be the future of this club, right? So today I think was arguably a full circle moment, probably, and it's really, really, it's nice to be a part of that, right? When you've been a part of something for so long and you get to see it kind of restart again, special for me personally.
Thank you.
It's a little bit of a detour away from Megan and Laura, but this is the first game in quite a long time that Bethany Balser's not been with the team, and could you talk about what's the difference now that she's gone, both in the clubhouse and on the field, as far as both strategy and on-field play, and also what it feels like to not have her in the clubhouse?
I'll talk a little bit outside just because she was one of my closest friends. Like, she really took me under her wing, and she was like a big sister to me, and off the field, like, she was just a great role model for me, so I really look up to her and her positivity on and off the field, and she's really such a leader, so I only have good things to say about her.
I mean, to echo Emeri, Boats she's a very special person, a very unique person in the way that she views her life and carries herself and spreads love, but is very honest about everything. I think everyone knows that with what she talks about on social media and things. She always wants the best for people all the time. So we're gonna miss her. We do miss her, and I'm sure we're gonna miss her for the future. But I think that sometimes these things happen, and they just happen, and you almost got to try and take it in your stride, and that doesn't mean that it doesn't hurt, and it doesn't mean that it's not emotional, it's not tough, because it is, and we had a couple of tough days in the locker room, I'll tell you that now. There's no point in denying that, we really did as a group, because that's what Beth meant to us. On the field, she's a goal scorer. There's no two ways about that. She will score you goals out of nowhere too, which is always nice. So we'll miss that. We'll miss being able to just get goals when we need them most, because she always provided that for us. But in saying that, you know, also we have made some signings, some really good signings. Anna, fantastic. Coco, you saw Coco tonight as well. Obviously we got Jalen, brought in Ains and JB. You saw JB tonight. We, you know, perhaps heading in a different direction, and so we've got to really invest in that. So we can do both. We can respect and miss boats and deal with that emotion and allow that to happen, but also understand that we need to also move with the players that we have now and play with the kind of style that we're playing. And I think you saw we changed all of our front line tonight, I think, because that's the way we play. We high press, we have a lot of energy, we have a lot of intense work, and if you work like that in the front line that we're asking you to do, it's if you last 90 minutes, like, take my hat off to you. And so the beauty of that is we're not a team that has an 11. We have a 26 player squad because we need everybody. And so Boats will forever be a big part of this club, and she will be in history because she deserves that. But we need to move forward now, as hard as that is sometimes. And I think that we saw a lot of good things from the players that we brought in tonight, and the players that have been here and gelling already with the new players, which I said is really hard to do in mid-season transfer window. So.
All right, we'll take two more, Jeff and then Grant.
The cathartic moment at the end is important, but this was a pretty intense match for 90 plus minutes. There was pressure on Claudia right out of the go. You had a young player or two starting on defense with Shay.
Yeah.
But how important was it to get that defensive effort tonight in that clean sheet, knowing what North Carolina was throwing at you guys for 90 minutes?
Yeah, huge. I mean, Emeri will tell you, it's all we've worked on all week is how we were going to try and stifle them. Because they're so fluid. They play with the 3 box, I don't even know what they play. They're just so fluid in their movement. And they don't really have a striker, so that's tough, right? When you don't have like someone sitting on your back line right in the middle, it's kind of easy to deal with that. But we worked on it all week, and we bought into it because it was very aggressive what we were doing. But we all bought into it because that was the most important thing. And I can't talk about our defense without talking about JB, because that's Jordan, by the way.
Yeah,
She,
Jordan.
thank you.
Just-
To sign for the team mid-season, to have a couple of weeks, for us to lose Lonnie, Ryan, and Lou at the minute, two huge experienced players, and then to come in and play a game that is really difficult from a defensive perspective because there's so much movement, and you have to make really difficult decisions all the time, when to step and when to not step, because if you get that wrong, you're in trouble. With someone who's 17? 18?
Yeah, she's 18.
18, thanks.
Yeah, just turned 18.
Yeah, yeah. Someone to come in and do that at 18 years of age seamlessly. Incredible. I thought she was absolutely outstanding tonight. And it's hat off to all of them, honestly, because they come in, they get their head down, they work, they smile, they laugh, and they listen to us, but they also play their game, which is the most important thing, right? Is they have to believe in their ability, take on a little bit of information, but then go shine. And the fact that we're seeing that already from our youngsters is just huge. I thought JB tonight was unbelievable. That next to Sophie I thought was unbelievable. Phoebe was great, Shay was great, and Claudia was great. It was just, they were fantastic, all of them. But JB,
Yeah. I'm thinking the first tackle when she
Yeah.
Ashley Sanchez, but she was like, oh no, and then she just tapped it. I was like,
Yeah.
that was perfect.
Alright, last one right here.
So Jess, you mentioned Jalen Howell earlier.
yeah,
I think when she comes in, you know, you have you, Howell, and Quinn,
Mhm.
kind of as defensive-minded, versatile midfielders. I thought
Mhm.
she put in a really good shift
Mhm.
today. When the club acquired Jalen, how did you envision her fitting in?
yeah. Look, like I said earlier, the way that we play, we ask a lot of our players, physically, mentally, and so I think when Jalen comes in, it boosts us. It does nothing but boosts us, right? I thought she did great today. I'm sure when she has more time, she settles into exactly what we're doing. And then we have options, right? Maybe I can go higher. That would be fun. Hasn't happened so far this year, but just maybe. You know, maybe in different games we need Jalen and Quinn. You know, maybe we're just gonna have options, and we're gonna have depth, and to be able to bring in Jalen's experience is huge for us, right? I'm not getting any younger, and so, you know, it's also something that perhaps is longer term also, that, you know, we need to keep building this franchise, and when you make moves like that, it is obviously for the immediate, because Jalen can change games. She's a fantastic player, but also, you know, it's for the future too. And I think that is huge to be able to have Ben, Quinny, Jalen, Haz, G, Ainsley that we've brought in too, who is phenomenal, by the way, also. Wait till you see her play. So then you're already building, right? And I think that's part of it. So now we have unbelievable depth and unbelievable options. And we also perhaps have a steady build into the future, which is obviously what you would want as any franchise.
Great, thanks everyone, thanks Jess, thanks Emeri.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.